Greetings to you all and welcome to our today's lesson. My name is Nicholas Sikali. Our today's lesson will focus on pivot tables in Excel. Pivot tables are powerful tool that is used for data analysis in Excel, and it enables you to interact with huge sets of data in a way that you want. So for pivot table, you can be able to summarize huge data set and come up with some more tables that will be able to make you understand the data that you have better. So in pivot table, you will analyze data interactively, come up with other tables, and be able to make more viable interpretations and decisions from the new tables that will be created from one table, of course, which we'll be having at the initial point. So welcome, and I believe you will enjoy this session. So with me here, I have a huge data set which we'll be using to be able to explore our data table techniques, or our pivot table techniques. You can see with me here we have the order ID in column A. Order ID in column A, it moves up to all the way to 213. We have the second bit. We have the second bit here, which is product. Different products like carrots, broccoli, banana, orange, all the way. There is category. Of course, they are categorized either into vegetables or fruits. We have amounts that were sold. We have the dates that each one of them was sold. And we have the specific countries that relate to that. So we want to make interpretation from this particular table, you can see. And within a short period of time, if you are to be asked, which country do you think made the most sales? Of course, which country? Is it the United States that made the most sales? Is it Germany? Is it Canada? Is it France? Which country made the most sales? It's very difficult for you to be able to tell that. You can be asked, which product between carrots, broccoli, banana, beans, apple, and all these products here, which one was sold most? And again, you can see it's very, very difficult for you to come up with that particular decision. Which category between vegetables and fruit had the highest amounts of revenues or sales? Again, it becomes very difficult because the data is too huge. Remember, it's ranging from 1 all the way to 213. So it's huge. You can't really tell how much was from apple, how much was from banana, from beans, from orange, from carrots. It's very difficult, and you really, or you can spend the entire day analyzing this data and finding out which product had the highest, which category had the highest, which country had the highest. So it becomes very hectic and very difficult. But with the help of pivot table, you can be able to come up with sub tables from the main table, from which reading of data becomes very easily. You can come up with the reports at any time, at any point, using the shortest time possible. You can do it in a matter of seconds and come up with a list of products, or a list of countries, or a list of categories that had the highest amount of revenue. So welcome, and I believe this session will provide you with an opportunity to be able to interact with this huge data set and break it down into sub-reports that can be able to help you to make decisions using the shortest time possible. So pivot tables, and for you to be able to access pivot tables, they are inside the insert menu, and you can be able to see pivot table here. So insert menu, and you can be able to see pivot table here. And when you click on it, of course, you can see that you have an opportunity to be able to do it from a table, and you can also be able to do it from an external data source. So it can either be from a table or a range. When you click on from a table or a range, it means you have to select all this. To make your work easier, instead of, again, this is a range now, selecting the range, to make your work easier, you prefer, or personally I prefer, making pivot table from a table and not from a range. From a table and not from a range. That is what I personally prefer. But you can also be able to make it from a range, as we are going to see. Now first, I want us to format our data in form of a table. We want to format this data in form of a table so that it's arranged in form of a table. Of course, we have advantages of formatting data in form of a table. That is, in case you add a new data like 214, the table will automatically be adjusted. So that is very important. So let us format our data in form of a table. That is, you click inside anywhere in your data. Just click inside anywhere here in your data. You click inside anywhere, not outside, but anywhere, just anywhere inside your data. Then go to the home menu. Home menu. Under the styles group, you can see the styles group here. There are three things: conditional formatting, format as a table, and cell styles. I want us to use format as a table. So our data now will be formatted as a table. You click on the arrow, you pick any style. You can go for any style here. I will go for a style which has some blue, and let me pick that. Now our data, you can see the range has been picked to the end. Nothing has been left out, all the way to 213, all the way to column F. So all the way to F214. F214 has been picked. Click on OK, and now our data has been formatted in form of a table. Now this is a table now, and you can see it even has the filters. You can be able to filter things out and do that. Now that is formatting data as a table. The importance of formatting data as a table is that if you are adding, let's say 214, and you have some orange, you can see that the data gets updated automatically. If you go to 215 here, the table gets updated. It keeps increasing to include 214, 215. The range keeps increasing automatically. So that is the beauty of formatting your data as a table. We will use 213 as we had there before. Remember, you can change the styles if you want by just clicking anywhere inside. Then you can change to any other style. If you prefer any other style here, you can still be able to change your data into variety of styles that are provided in Excel. Once you've done your first step of formatting your data as a table, which is not mandatory, by the way, it's not mandatory that when doing pivot tables you format your data as a table, though it's highly recommended. The second step is that now you go to insert and pivot table. Insert, then pivot table. So I'll click on pivot table, then we will click on from table stroke range, there. Then you can see we picked table 1, so no need of selecting anything. Table 1, and that is the table or range. Already it's table 1. Choose where you want the pivot table to be placed. Where do you want it to be placed? Is it new worksheet, existing worksheet, or where? We want it to go to a new worksheet. Then you just click on OK, and you will have that. So what we have here is sheet 1. Remember this pivot table here, the data that we had initially, but a new worksheet has been added here known as sheet 1. So we are on sheet 1. So we have pivot table, which we have here, then we have sheet 1. So I'm going to start with certain things that you see here. This is where our report will be placed. Our pivot table report will be placed here. But we have pivot table fields on this particular side. You can see choose fields to add it to the report, and no need for using that. There is also this particular fields here. You can see order ID, which was the first one here. You can see the order ID. We move back to category. There was category there. There is amount, there is date, there is country, and so many things. You can be able to go to more tables if you want. Now there is dragging the fields above between the areas below. There is filter, there is column, there is row, and there is values. You can see how that looks like. Now we want to, assuming that you want your category or your product is to be dropped on columns. Look at what happens. If you want your product to be dropped in columns, that is what happens. Let us unpick. I want to drop products in rows. Products in rows, and this will come here that way. So products in rows, you can see products in rows, and our report is building up. Then I want to see these products, what are the values attached to them? What are the values attached to them? So amount into values, amount into values. If you take amounts to columns, that is what happens, but I don't want my work to look like that. So amount to values, and that is what you will see there. I want to remove the other one and take amount to values, and you come up with that. So this becomes very easy, and actually within seconds you can be able to see that Apple had an amount of let me input column so that we can clearly see that way. So Apple sold 191, 257. Banana, you can see, sold 340, 295, 557, 281, 142, in that order. Within a very short period of time, you can be able to tell and retrieve such a small report from what you have there. You can do a lot. Assuming that you want country, you can even drop country to columns if that is what you want. If it looks so bad, you can just drop this to rows. That is how it will look like. Now look at that report, it has changed. If you take country to rows, this is what you see. And it gives you Apple in specific countries, banana in specific countries, beans in specific countries. So if you want to undo country, of course you just remove the country and you remain with that. So I just removed the country from the other side. What if you want the country to be in values? That is what will look like. Apple count of countries, and you can be able to see that. So I will remove country and remain with this small report there. Category, if you want to bring in category and take it to either columns, you can see the category. I'll undo. You can take category to products and you can see what happens. And category inside products. So I'll undo category and remain with this small report. I'll save that report. Of course, I'll close this and now save this report to analysis of products. This is products and amount. Product and amount. So that is a report showing you the product and amount there. I can give this a color. Product and amount. This one I can also give it a color red on the other side. So we have, of course, let me move this before product and amount. No, not creating copy, so that it's the first one. So we have pivot table followed by product and amount and all that. Now from this huge data set, which will take a day for you to analyze the products and the amount of sales that they made, we've used a very short period of time to get product and amount here. So let us do another one. Again, pivot table, insert pivot table, then here, then same range, then okay. We want to do another one. What if it is category? So you take category and put it inside rows like that. Which category led? So category against amount or against values. You can see categories against values. And you can see vegetable and also the other one. I will include the zeros and the commas. The category that led was fruits, which was at 693,069. Vegetables followed at 336, 665. So I will rename to category and amount. So that is category and amount. Then I will give it a color from which we can move it to end. So we are moving it to end. Then okay, so now it is at the end. You can see category and amount. Again, from this data set we want to do another pivot table, which is a bit more complicated, including so many things. So pivot table, then okay, and here we want want to start with the ID. The IDs will be under filters, or maybe no. I want to start with category under rows, not necessarily category but products. Let products be under rows, then category also that way. No, let me start again. So I'll start with category under rows, then products also under rows. So you can see category, then products also under rows. Then we have the country, which we can put under columns, country under columns. Then the amount can also be seen under values. Now look at that. A very another dynamic of how a pivot table can look like. Fruits, total of 91 to, that is 91, 9, 12, and what? Let me put the 0 so that it can clearly be seen. In the home menu, you put the commas and you reduce the zeros. Fruit in Australia amounted to 91, in Canada amounted to 82, in France amounted to this. Apple, again, the same breakdown of things in every other thing. So these are more complicated kind of report that you can be able to make from that huge data set, where we had product, category, amount, and country. So this one can also be able to be saved here, and this will be, it has a, I can give it a name, analysis 1, analysis 1, maybe analysis 1 there. Then I can move it to end. Let us move it to end. So move or copy, move to end, then OK. Then tab color, that way, in tab color, one that is more, yeah, that is fine. So this analysis 1, where you can be able to see categories like fruits and the countries, different products, countries and the total, category of vegetable and different countries, beans, of course, under vegetable we have this, and also with various items there. Now we have analysis 1, we have category and amount, we have product and amount, then we have our main data that is from the pivot table which we have here. The last one that I want us to try is that this can also be even more complicated, and one can come up with something that it's even hard to read. Like we have that, then we have it goes to columns, you can see there. Then we have countries, which also goes here. That one looks bad, so country, I'll take it to rows. Look at that. Then amount, I'll take it to values. So this is what we have now. A very other complicated, though it's understandable, like fruits, vegetable, and grand total on the other side. You can select and give it some, select home, then the zeros after the commas here, we reduce the zeros to what we have there. Now look at the first one, fruits. There is apple and vegetable, of course, from different countries and all that. Now this is another set of pivot table which we can call analysis 2. So this one can be analysis 2, like that. Then move this to end, move this to end, and of course it's at the end there. Can give it a color, and this can be that one of a color. Now look at that. We started with the data from which making a decision was very difficult. Somebody would ask you a simple question and one cannot even tell, like, which category between fruits and vegetable had the highest. You will take so much time, but with pivot table you can quickly get here. Now which product had the highest? With pivot table you can be able to see that it is our bananas that took the highest. You can see category and amount, this analysis 1, this analysis 2, and so many things. One can do a lot. For instance, You can create another pivot table and say okay, and just do these things randomly. Like you want this to come here, you want this to come here, and no, I'll do away with that. You want this to come here, you want the countries to come under category, you also want the countries to go under columns, and that one looks bad. You want the amount to come here. This is another set of pivot table that you can come up with. So this one can be given analysis 3. So you can do a lot of analysis from your pivot tables, comma, then we will reduce that to that point. So this will be analysis 3 of pivot table. Again, this can be interpreted. We have fruits and other fruits. You can see countries, and this one is giving you different items, vegetables, and also different items here. So this will be analysis 3. After changing the color, we'll give it analysis 3. Analysis 3 in that order, and clearly it's now taking shape. We'll move this to end, so move or copy so that it's taken to the end, and okay. This can always be closed, and we remain with our data here. Now we have the first one, which was pivot table, our data which we formatted as a table using this option. We did a simple one here, that is product and amount. There is category and amount. There is analysis 1, this analysis 2, and this analysis 3 of doing this pivot table. And remember, pivot tables usually go as well alongside the pivot charts, which is also done the same way. So up to that point, I believe that you should be in a position to do pivot tables. The file that we used will be shared below the video description, so that you can be able to do your practice. You can be able to do practice on your own and come up with various summaries from a huge data set. That means you work with your data interactively and come up with so many other reports from the main table, which can be used for various decision-making ideas or analysis of data to come up with different views. Bye for now, and see you again.